So we will
Kamika
read.
Ekadasi.
Hmm?
Kamika Ekadasi. Kamika Ekadasi.
Yeah, Kamika, but also it's
Yeah.
Sayani
As well.
Ekadasi. So yeah. So we will read about this Ekadasi, which will give us some more impetus to follow. Saintly King, Yudhishthir Maharaj said, O Supreme Lord, I have heard from you the glories of fasting on Devsayani Ekadasi, which occurs during the light fortnight of the month of Ashad. Now I would like to hear from you the glories of the Ekadasi that occur during the dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha of the month of Shravan, July, August. O Govinda Dev, please be merciful to me and explain its glories. O Supreme Vasudev, I offer my most humble obeisances unto you. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna replied, quote, O King, please listen attentively as I describe the auspicious influence of this holy fast Vrat day, which removes all sins. Narad Muni once asked Lord Brahma about the same topic. O regent of all beings, said Naradji, O you who sit upon a water-borne lotus throne, please tell me the name of the Ekadasi that occurred during the dark fortnight of the sacred month of Shravan. Please also tell me which deity is to be worshipped on that holy day. The process one must follow to observe it and merit it awards. So Lord Brahma replied, quote, my dear son Narad, for the benefit of all humanity, I shall happily tell you everything you wish to know. For just hearing the glories of the Kamika Ekadasi bestows merit equal to that obtained by one who performed a horse sacrifice. Certainly, great merit is attained by one who worships and who also meditate on the lotus feet of the forearm Lord Gadadhar, who holds counsel, disc, club and lotus in his hands, and who is also known as Sridhar, Hari, Vishnu, Madhav, and Madhusudan. And the blessings achieved by such person devotee who worship Lord Vishnu exclusively are far greater than those achieved by one who takes a sacred bath in the Ganga at Kasi, Varanasi, in the forest of Naimisharanya, or at Pushkara, which is the only place on the planet where I am formally worshipped. But one who observes this Kamika Ekadasi and also worship Lord Shri Krishna achieves greater merit than one who has darshan of Lord Kedarnath in the Himalayas, or one who bathed in the Kurukshetra during a solar eclipse, or one who donates the whole earth in charity, including its forests and oceans, or one who bathes in the Gandaki river, where the sacred saligrams are found, or the Godavari river on a full moon Purnima day that falls on a Monday when Leo, Sima, and Jupiter Guru are conjoined. Observing Kamika Ekadasi bestow the same merit as donating a milk cow and her auspicious calf along with their feet On this all auspicious day, whoever worship Lord Sridhar Dev, Vishnu, is glorified by all the Devas, Gandharvas, Panagas, and Nagas. Those who are afraid of their past sins and completely immersed in sinful materialistic life should at least observe this best of the Ekadasis according to their ability and thus attain liberation. This Ekadasi is the purest of all days and the most powerful for removing sins of the native. O Naradji, Lord Srihari himself once said about this Ekadasi as follows. One who fasts on Kamika Ekadasi attains much more merit than one who studied all the scriptural literatures. Quote, anyone who fasts on this particular day remains awake throughout the night will never experience the anger of Yamaraj, the king of death personified. It has been seen that whoever observes Kamika Ekadasi will not have to suffer future births. And in the past too, many yogis of devotion who fasted on this day went to the spiritual world. One should therefore follow in their auspicious footsteps and strictly observe a fast on this most auspicious of Ekadasis. Whosoever worship Lord Sri Hari with tulsi leaves is free from all implication of sin. Indeed, he lives untouched by sin, as the lotus leaf, although in the water, is untouched by it. Whosoever offers Lord Sri Hari but a single leaf from the sacred tulsi tree attains as much as merit as one who gives away in charity 200 grams of gold and 800 grams of silver. Haribol. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is more pleased by one who offers him a single tulsi leaf than by one who worships him with pearls, rubies, topaz, diamonds, lapis lazuli, sapphire, gomeda stones, cat's eye gems, and coral. One who offers Lord Keshava newly grown manjari buds from the tulsi plant gets rid of all the sins he has committed during this or any other lifetime. Indeed, mere darshan of Tulsi on Kamika Ekadasi removes all sins, and merrily touching her and praying to her removes all kind of diseases. One who waters Tulsi Devi need never fear the Lord of Death, Yamaraj. One who plants or transplants Tulsi on these days will eventually reside with Lord Sri Krishna in his own abode. To Srimati Tulsi Devi, who awards liberation in devotional service, one should therefore daily offer one's full obeisances. Even Chitragupta, Yamaraj's secretary, cannot calculate the merit obtained by one who offers Srimati Tulsi Devi a perpetually burning ghee lamp. So dear is this sacred Ekadasi to the Supreme Personality of Godhead that all the forefathers of one who offers a bright ghee lamp to Lord Sri Krishna on this day ascend to the heavenly planets and drink the celestial nectar there. Whoever offered a ghee or sesame oil lamp to Sri Krishna on this day is free from all his sins and enters the abode of Surya, the sun god, with a body as bright as 10 million lamps. This Ekadasi is so powerful that if one who is unable to fast simply follows the practices as mentioned herein, he or she is elevated to the heavenly planets along with all their forefathers. O Maharaj Yudhishthir, Lord Krishna concluded, quote, "These were the words of Prajapati Brahma to his son Narad Muni concerning the incalculate glories of this Kamika Ekadasi, which removes all sins. This sacred day nullifies even the sin of killing a Brahmana or the sin of killing an unborn child in the womb, and it promotes one to the spiritual world by making one supremely meritorious. One who kills the innocent, that is a Brahman, a child in the womb, a pious and spotless woman, etc. And then later hear about the glories of Kamika Ekadasi will be relieved of the reactions of one's sins. However, one should not think beforehand that one can kill a Brahman or other innocent folk and then go unpunished simply by hearing of this Ekadasi. Such knowing commission of sin is abomination. Whosoever hear these glories of the Kamika Ekadasi with faith become free from all sins and return home back to Godhead. Haribol. So thus in the narration are the glories of the Shravan Krishna Ekadasi or Kamika Ekadasi from the Brahma Vivarta Purana. So we will continue reading the Krishna book. That's a wonderful pastime. We are reading about the Brahmana Sudama benedicted by Lord Sri Krishna. How the rich life was at that time, that shows over here. I will just read a couple of lines to bring up to the speed and then we will continue reading. The structure of the building was standing on first class transparent marble. You know, in the Houston temple, they call the onyx. We have Giriraj and Gornitai pedestal are made with the onyx. And all around on the ceiling, the octagonal windows are also onyx, transparent marble. And also on the side of the altar, we have different lighting, right? On a festival day, you must have seen in the behind the deity, between the columns and both sides, we have that transparent marble onyx with engraving made of emerald stone. All the women in the palace were carrying lamps made of valuable jewels. The flames and the jewel combined to produce a wonderfully brilliant light. When the Brahmana saw his position suddenly changed to one of opulence, and when he could not determine the cause for such a sudden change, he began to consider very gravely how it had happened. So he thus began to think, quote, "From the beginning of my life, I have been extremely poverty-stricken. So what could be the cause of such great and sudden opulence? I do not find any cause other than the all-merciful glance of my friend Lord Sri Krishna." He always realized the fact very quickly. The chief of the Yadu dynasty, Certainly, these are gifts of Lord Krishna's causeless mercy. When we gain something, material opulence, we take all the credit. Because of my intelligence and my expertise, I receive but Sudama. Devotees never think like that. The Lord is self-sufficient, the husband of the goddess of fortune, and thus he is always full with six opulences. He can understand the mind of his devotees, and he seamlessly fulfills the devotee's desire. All these are acts of my friend Lord Sri Krishna. My beautiful dark friend Krishna is far more liberal than the cloud which can fill up the great ocean with water. Without distributing the cultivator with rain during the day, the clouds bring liberal rain at night just to satisfy him. And yet, when the cultivator wakes up in the morning, he considers that it has not rained enough. Similarly, the Lord fulfilled the desire of everyone according to his position. And yet, one who is not in Krishna consciousness consider all the gift of the Lord to be less than his desire. On the other hand, when the Lord receives a little thing in love and affection from his devotee, he considers it a great and valuable gift. The vivid example is myself. I simply offered him a morsel of cheap rice, and in exchange, he has given me opulences greater than the opulence of the King of Heaven. Now, the same thing happened to this fruit vendor lady. Just by giving the fruit to Krishna, hardly any grains was left because Krishna was walking. He was falling down so many grain on the way. But lady gave, and then we see that past times that her basket was filled with diamonds, all emeralds, stones. Wonderful Krishna reciprocate millions of times what we can do for him. What the devotee actually offers to the Lord is not needed by the Lord. It's not that we are cooking because Krishna is hungry. He is Atmaram. Just giving us a chance to render some service, that is all. He is self-sufficient. If the devotee offers something to the Lord, it acts for his own interest. Because whatever a devotee offers to the Lord comes back in a quantity 1,000,000 times greater than what was offered. Haribol. One does not become a loser by giving to the Lord, but he becomes a gainer by millions of times. Haribol. The Brahmana, feeling great obligations to Krishna, thought, quote, I pray to have the friendship of Lord Krishna and to engage in his service and to surrender fully unto him in love and affection, life after life. Haribol. Wonderful prayer to remember if we get a chance to have a glimpse of Krishna at least. I do not want any opulences. I only desire not to forget his service. I simply wish to be associated with his pure devotees. And may my mind and activities be always engaged in his service. The unborn Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna knows that many great personalities have fallen from their position because of extravagant opulence, dangerous opulence. Therefore, even when his devotee asks for some opulence from him, the Lord sometimes does not give it. He is a very cautious about his devotees because a devotee in an immature position of devotional service may, if offered great opulence, fall from his position due to being in the material world. The Lord does not offer opulence to him. This is another manifestation of the causeless mercies of the Lord upon his devotees. His first interest is that the devotee may not fall. He is exactly like a well wishing father who does not give much wealth into the hand of his immature son, but who, when the son is grown up and knows how to spend money, give him the whole treasury house. You have to be extremely careful. The learned Brahmana thus concluded that whatever opulence he had received from the Lord should not be used for his extravagant sense gratification, but for the service of the Lord. And then you will see you will become so happy. Whenever we use our money for somebody else, that's the best happiness you will receive. Otherwise, if we keep on using for our own gratification, we will always feel, I need more. And that thirst will never be quenched. Haribol. The Brahmana accepted his newly acquired opulence, but he did so in a spirit of renunciation, unattached to sense gratification. And thus he lived very peacefully with his wife, enjoying all the facilities of opulence as prasadam of the Lord. He enjoyed varieties of foodstuff by offering it to the Lord and then taking it prasadam. Similarly, if by the grace of Lord we get such opulences as material wealth, fame, power, education, and beauty, it is our duty to consider that they are all gift of the Lord and must be used for His service, not for our own sense enjoyment. The learned Brahmana reminded that in that position, and instead of deteriorating due to great opulences, his love and affection for Lord Sri Krishna increased day by day. Material opulence can be the cause of degradation and also the cause of elevation, according to the purpose for which it is used. If opulence is used for sense gratification, it is the cause of degradation. And if it is used for the service of the Lord, it is the cause of elevation. It is evident from Lord Sri Krishna's dealing with Sudama Vipra that the Supreme Personality Godhead is very, very pleased with a person who is possessed of Brahmanical qualities. A qualified Brahmana like Sudama Vipra is naturally a devotee of Lord Krishna. Therefore, it is said, Brahmano Vaishnavaha. A Brahmana is a Vaishnava. Or sometime it is said, Brahmana Panditaha. Pandita means a highly learned person. A Brahmana cannot be a foolish or uneducated. Therefore, there are two divisions of Brahmanas, namely Vaishnavas and Pandits. Those who are simply learned are Pandits, but not yet devotee of the Lord or Vaishnavas. Lord Krishna is not especially pleased with them. Simply the qualification of being a learned Brahmana is not sufficient to attract the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A Brahmana must not only be well qualified according to the requirement stated in the scripture, such as Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, but at the same time, he must be a devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. And the vivid example is Sudama Vipra. He was a qualified Brahmana, unattached to all sorts of material sense enjoyment, and at the same time, a great devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. Lord Krishna, the enjoyer of all sacrifices and penances, is very fond of a Brahmana like Sudama Vipra. And we have seen by the actual behavior of Lord Sri Krishna how much he adores such a Brahmana. Therefore, the ideal stage of human perfection is to become a Brahmana Vaishnava like Sudama Vipra. Sudama Vipra realized that although Lord Krishna is unconquerable, he nevertheless agrees to be conquered by his devotees. He realized how kind Lord Krishna was to him, and he was always in trance, constantly thinking of Krishna. By such constant association with Lord Sri Krishna, whatever darkness of material contamination was remaining within his heart was completely cleared away, and very shortly he was transferred to the spiritual kingdom, which is the goal of all saintly person in the perfectional stage of life. Sukadeva Goswami has stated that all person who hear this history of Sudama Vipra and Lord Sri Krishna will know how affectionate Lord Krishna is to the Brahmana devotee like Sudama. Therefore, anyone who hears this history gradually becomes as qualified as Sudama Vipra, and he is thus transferred to the spiritual kingdom of Lord Sri Krishna. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the second volume, 26th chapter of Krishna, titled The Brahmana Sudama, benedicted by Lord Sri Krishna. So I think the time has come that we should stop, and we will continue tomorrow. Chapter 27, Lord Krishna and Balram meet the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Haribol. So with those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who take austerity to join every morning. I'm eternally grateful for your association and your support. Otherwise, what was the chance that, I may have remained fixed in chanting? There is no way. Because we started this call, it increased our chanting and we became fixed. Always the thought, it's become a part of the life. If I cannot start waking up early in the morning, what is the use of living this life? Regret. And I think we should not be proud of our, which always happens by the will of Krishna. We have to remain humble, but at the same time, we should remain vigilant in our practices, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the lethargy is something that we have to face it out. And Maya Devi is so strong. She will give all kind of excuses. Oh, Prabhus, you have to take care of your health. Prabhus, today you went late to the bed. You need to take some more rest. All these things is nothing but the influence of the illusory energy. All our Acharya has exhibited in their life how dear the chanting was to their life. How important was it that they constantly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Even we see the present Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj. He also chanted 192 rounds every day for 9 years. It's not easy task, but that's our Acharya has shown us that that's what is required if we are sincere to become free from the cycle of birth and death. And only through the association with the holy name, those impetus will sustain in our life. Otherwise, what is the hope? We are so fallen. Unless we receive the mercy, there is no way we can maintain our devotion. So, with those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk for those wonderful devotees who every day join from Houston, from Fresno, from New Hampshire, Aurora, Illinois, New York, New Jersey,